If you're thinking about buying a home in the Bay Area, this video is for you. Bay Area real estate broker Chris Simone here with another video from our Buyer Benefits series. You can watch a video on all our strategies and secret techniques on our home buyer website, howourbuyerswin.com. On this video, I'm going to tell you about our inside access to bank-owned listings and our ability to search for bank-owned properties. Welcome to our video. The first thing we should probably talk about is why you should even care about bank-owned homes. Well, let me ask you, have you ever heard of somebody, a friend or coworker who got a bank-owned home? Many of you probably have. And when you hear those stories, it's usually associated with someone who got a good deal on a property and they bought it from the bank. Most people have probably never stopped to think why it's even possible to get a good deal from a bank. So I'm going to share some information with you here that will help explain why. When a typical homeowner wants to sell their home, like let's say, for example, if you were wanting to sell your home, just about every homeowner has the same number one priority. They want to sell the home for the most money possible. That makes sense. Well, let me give you some insider information. Banks are unusual home sellers. What do I mean by that? Well, first, let's think about how a bank becomes a homeowner. A bank had a loan with a homeowner. That homeowner stopped making payments, and eventually the bank had to foreclose on that homeowner. When they do that, oftentimes the bank now becomes the owner of the house. So instead of the bank having a loan, they have a house. Well, banks aren't really in the business of being homeowners. They're in the business of writing loans. And so the banks just want to get rid of these properties. In fact, when a bank owns a home as an asset, they're not making money on that property. They really would much rather have a loan out where they're collecting interest. So they really just want to get rid of this house. They want to sell it so that they can use that money and write more loans. There's several other things that make a bank an unusual home seller. For one, most of the time, banks are publicly traded companies. That means they have a stock price. They have shareholders. They have a board of directors. They have balance sheets. They have to worry about their books. These are not things a normal homeowner thinks about. Another thing most people don't know is that oftentimes when banks have mortgages out there with customers, they might have insurance to protect them against a foreclosure in the future. So what does that mean? Well, that means now that the home has been foreclosed, if they resell it and the bank actually loses money, then the insurance can kick in and make them whole. So for the bank, there's much more motivation to sell the property quickly and get it off their books in a situation like that, where they're going to be made whole one way or the other. So oftentimes the banks are really just looking to move these homes. Most agents have never listed a bank-owned property. They've never been a listing agent for the bank. And most have never even helped a buyer purchase a home from any bank. So what about us? Well, of course we made a video, so probably I'm going to tell you about some things that we do with bank-owned homes. Let me first show you a little bit of background. In the last 12 years, we've personally bought or sold more bank-owned homes than any agents were aware of in the entire Bay Area. On this map here, each one of these pinpricks is a bank-owned property that we were involved with. We have some special software that we can run in any zip code, city, county, and it shows us all the bank-owned homes. We also have relationships with banks and also mortgage servicing companies, and from time to time they give us listings that they want us to help sell for them. I can tell you that sometimes there's some really amazing deals to be had with bank-owned properties. Sometimes they're sold vacant, sometimes buyers can purchase these with loans, and sometimes they're beautiful. Other times you need to watch out. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with bank-owned properties as well. Sometimes the previous owner's in there, sometimes there's squatters in there. Sometimes these homes need to be purchased with an all-cash buyer. So when going after these properties, you really need to have someone who knows the ins and outs. When we run our software in Santa Clara County, now we can run this in any county, but as an example in Santa Clara County, we can see that currently there's 34 bank-owned homes that are out there. And these homes currently aren't on the market. So let me tell you what we can do with this information. Let's say you were looking for a home in this particular area here. Well, if any of these bank-owned homes matched your criteria, we know how to reach out to those banks and see if they might be interested in selling off-market to you. It's just another thing we do to try and find off-market opportunities for our buyers. Let me share with you a few examples. So this first example is one of our buyer clients, Eric. So we had a $2 million bank-owned listing that we had assigned to us, but it was not yet on the market. This was a home that Eric was very much interested in. So as I mentioned before, banks are unusual sellers. So in this example, the bank told us to keep the home off the market, and ultimately they were going to have us sell it through an online auction platform, but not yet. So what we did was we had to get our buyer positioned and ready to strike as soon as the opportunity presented itself. After a couple of weeks, finally there was a small window that opened up. So let me tell you what happened in this situation. So the bank instructed us to put the home on an online auction platform. This was before they told us to put it on the MLS. As soon as the home went on the online auction platform, because I know how these things work, we knew that we could actually submit a pre-offer through the online auction platform and the bank would take a look at it. So that's what we did. We submitted a pre-auction offer to the bank. Then, while the bank was thinking about it, they told us to put it on the MLS, so that's what we did. So now we put it on the market. Within 1 hour of this property going on the MLS, the bank accepted our offer, which was for $1,470,000. So we helped this buyer get the property for more than $500,000 below market. This was a 26% discount. Now, how do I really know what this home was actually worth? Well, within 4 hours, there was another agent who had their own buyer who contacted me and gave me an offer for $1.95 million for this property, but they were too late. Now, because I was the bank's listing agent, I did tell the bank, hey, we have this other offer for $1.95 million, but they told me exactly what I knew they were going to tell me, which was, sorry, we're already in contract with your buyer, so we're not going to look at any other offers. Again, this kind of shows you why banks are a bit unusual as sellers. So what made the difference between us getting the home or this other agent getting the home? Well, it's having this inside in-depth knowledge of how the banks operate and how all the timing works and how there's sometimes very narrow windows where you can grab these amazing deals. It certainly worked out great for my buyer. Let me tell you about another example. We had another buyer who was interested in a bank-owned property and they asked us about it. So we helped them get into contract on this bank-owned property at an amazing price. Now this was a fixer-upper bank-owned property. This was a buyer who wanted to purchase it and he wanted to remodel it and then turn around and resell it. We were halfway through escrow and all of a sudden he changes his mind. He says, Chris, I don't want this property anymore. How can we get out of the deal? Well, I did tell him, hey, if you want to get out of the deal, here are the steps that we can take. But I had an alternate solution for him. I said, hey, listen, you got to trust me on this. I've got a better strategy for you. Let's go ahead and buy the property and I'll turn around and I'll relist it and we'll resell it immediately. I knew that he was getting a fantastic deal and that when we put it back on the market, good things were going to happen. So that's what we did. So he ended up buying it. And literally the next day, I put it back on the market. He didn't clean it. He didn't touch it. He didn't go to the property. Literally nothing was different. And we were now trying to find another buyer for this home. Well, what happened? Let me tell you. We sold it for 62.5% more than he bought it for. And it closed in 30 days. So this literally made him hundreds of thousands of dollars for almost doing nothing. Now, I need to have a little disclaimer here. This was an amazing deal that this buyer of ours got, and I don't want you to think we're going to find something like this for you. This was an amazing situation, and it worked out great for our buyer. I'm sure he didn't think this was going to happen when he started working with this either, but it did. So all I can tell you is the more things like this that we try and do for our buyers, the higher likelihood that something good is going to happen. Let me share with you another example. There was a beautiful home in LosAltos Hills that was bank owned, worth $4.25 million, and our buyer Julie was interested in this property. We were able to help them purchase this property for more than $600,000 below market price, saving them around 15%. So you see, it's possible to find bank-owned homes in just about any neighborhood. So here's the bottom line. We use our unique approach with bank-owned properties. Sometimes we get listings, other time we have access to the homes and we know where to find the bank-owned homes. And we use this information to help our buyers go after bank-owned homes. This creates extra opportunities for exceptional results that we can generate for our buyers. It could save you money, it can save you time, and it's just another thing we do that helps our buyers win. Explore our buyer benefit website to discover over a dozen other exclusive strategies we use to help our buyer clients win. If you'd like to learn more, feel free to book a call with us or reach out with any questions directly through our website. On our website, we also have an exciting sample pack you can request. It contains maps showing hundreds, even thousands of potential off-market opportunities for our buyer clients across various techniques we use. You can also get a list of the best discount opportunities according to Zillow and Redfin. We created some software to rank the entire housing market according to value estimates provided by Zillow and Redfin. We don't know any other agents with this type of software. Just another thing we do for our buyer clients. You can get a printout of our home buyer protection plan and guaranteed home finder program. These are some valuable benefits we give to all our buyer clients. And finally, an agent interview questionnaire, so that you know how to interview any agent you are considering having represent you. You just might be surprised by some of the questions. You can get a copy of our sample pack on our website. Thank you for watching this video and giving me the chance to share another one of the many strategies we use to help our buyers win. We'd love the opportunity to work with you and make you our next success story. Visit our buyer benefit website to watch more videos revealing the unique strategies we use to give our buyer clients a huge advantage. I guarantee you'll learn about some effective techniques not used by any other agents. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.